They sold it with a whisper. Lose weight while you sleep. No exercise, no hunger, no effort, just science, pure and clinical. In a world obsessed with shrinking itself, that promise sounded divine. The bottle held a clear fluid, sterile and new for people who were tired of mirrors mocking them. Doctors called it a metabolic revolution. They did not call it by its truer name yet, the weight loss injection that ate the liver from within. Fighting fat has been medicine's most lucrative war for over a century. Every decade invents a new bullet. Powders, pills, hormones, parasites, radiation, peptides, each one claiming to succeed where biology supposedly failed. In the early 1900s, when beauty meant frailty and corsets still carved ribs, pharmacists discovered that powdered thyroid from animal glands could melt pounds quickly. It worked because it forced the metabolism into overdrive, a controlled illness. Patients called the resulting tremors and racing hearts energy. A British woman writing in 1913 described feeling marvelously alive until I fainted. Doctors kept prescribing it. The drug's success rate was measured not in lives improved, but in calories burned before collapse. Then chemistry found something far deadlier. In 1933, a dye manufacturer discovered that a chemical once used for explosives, dinitrophenol, or DNP, raised body temperature and burned fat 20 times faster than diet alone. 2 capsules a day turned the human body into its own furnace. The results were spectacular and short-lived. Patients dropped weight rapidly. Soon they began dropping from heat stroke as well. Corneas turned yellow, fevers approached 107 degrees Fahrenheit, and autopsies showed livers cooked from the inside. The Food and Drug Administration banned DNP in 1938, calling it distinctly toxic. To this day, fitness subcultures buy it illegally online. It still works, it still kills. After DNP came amphetamines, benzedrine, dexedrine, the pharmaceutical equivalent of sprinting for days. Appetite vanished along with sleep. Housewives chewed the little pink tablets like candy through the 1940s and 50s. Soldiers received them on the front lines to stay awake long enough to forget hunger. The side effects, psychosis, heart failure, dependence, were dismissed as statistical noise compared to the dream of thinness. Doctors became both dealers and users. When regulations tightened, the same industry pivoted toward safer metabolites. The cycle restarted with new molecules, new enthusiasm, and the same blindness. By the 1970s, the obsession matured into medicine itself. Obesity was reclassified as a disease. Treatment shifted from mirror to microscope. The liver stood at the center. It is the organ that receives every chemical ambition humanity ever invented, from alcohol to anesthetics to caffeine, cleansing us of all our attempts to improve ourselves. No wonder it eventually rebelled. The new millennium demanded speedier miracles. Around 2010, a line of injectable hormones entered the stage. GLP-1 receptor agonists. Cousins of insulin first tested for diabetes. But inside hospitals, hepatologists, liver specialists started seeing strange lab results. Most GLP-1 drugs were harmless, even protective for some diabetics. Yet scattered among the millions of users appeared scattered anomalies. Severe gallbladder inflammation, pancreatitis, hepatic enzyme spikes. Case reports trickled in from Denmark, China, the United States. A handful of patients experienced massive hepatic necrosis. Bacterial infection wasn't to blame, nor alcohol. The biopsies told a clearer story. Microscopic lesions caused by immune overactivation. The body digesting detox cells that processed the drug. The cure for overeating had begun nibbling at the organ that filters everything. The headlines avoided the details. The stocks were too valuable. Adverse reactions are inevitable in populations of millions, journalists were told. True. But the mechanism sounded hauntingly familiar. Metabolic acceleration, cellular overheating, oxidative stress. Modern echo of the 1930s diet dye resurrected under a sanitized acronym. Safe when used correctly, the labels insisted, while the small black print sections of FDA sheets listed rare, potentially fatal hepatic events. To the public, the shots remained glamorous. On social media, influencers filmed themselves pinching skin and injecting slenderness. Hashtag Ozempic face. The hollow cheeks of rapid loss. The phenomenon revived an old truth pharmaceutical historians know too well. Every generation S poison hides in last century as cure. The earliest morphine chemists, chasing divine pain relief, created addiction. Sedative inventors created insomnia. And now anti-obesity drugs risk dismantling the metabolism they seek to regulate. Science never repeats itself verbatim, it rhymes in molecule form. To be clear, GLP-1 drugs have helped millions regain control over dangerous obesity and diabetes. Studies confirm reductions in cardiovascular risk, improvements in insulin resistance, even possible protective effects on fatty liver disease. The medication itself isn't evil. The story's darkness lies in the culture enveloping it. The rush to push, prescribe, and profit faster than biology can adapt. The danger arises when the societal hunger for transformation outpaces the organ designed to bear the cost. In research centers, pathologists describe the damage with the cold poetry of slides: steatosis, lobular necrosis, bile stasis. Healthy liver tissue looks like honeycomb under light. Damaged tissue fractures into mosaic patterns, colors reversed, the organ bleaching itself from within. For those rare unlucky patients, hospital nights become paradoxical. They lose weight as their metabolism devours itself. In advanced cases, skin and eyes yellow. Ammonia builds in blood. The mind blurs. Sleep arrives even while awake. The ultimate hunger suppressant is hepatic failure. This is not new. In the 1920s, spa brochures offered liver purges using mercury salts. In the 1950s, radioisotope diets promised to burn calories literally with radiation. Every technological leap redefines cruelty as innovation. The 2020s version simply uses a hypodermic. Ask any endocrinologist and they'll name the same double-edged fact. The drug works beautifully. It activates pathways that evolution spent eons building. Chemical mimicry of satiation, the primal feeling of enough. The problem appears when the signal never stops. The body, starved of feedback, continues the fast long after safety. The voice inside saying, "Stop eating," forgets context. For the majority, side effects fade. For a minority, signals collide. And the liver, already thrumming from fat processing, begins the slow burn that no microscope can reverse. Pharmaceutical companies fund research to clarify thresholds, dosage, duration, heredity, lifestyle. Still, public enthusiasm outruns data. Clinics offering quick injections open faster than universities can publish peer-reviewed trials. Doctors warn of rebound weight. If injections cease, patients interpret this as curse or blackmail. No one asks what perpetual appetite suppression does to a species built on hunger. This story isn't about one molecule so much as it is about humanity, is recurring temptation, replacing discipline with dosage. The chemical journey from thyroid extracts to DNP to semaglutide maps our psychological evolution, from acceptance to impatience to self-cannibalism. Our ancestors fasted by faith, we fast by pharmacy. Somewhere right now, a nurse flicks the syringe gently, expelling air bubbles back into the vial. A patient sits on the edge of an exam table, half terrified, half hopeful. They've tried everything else. Yoga, keto, shame. This injection offers silence, an end to cravings, a respite from guilt. The needle pricks skin, the molecule travels through blood, and within hours receptors in the gut send newborn signals of satiety to the brain. It feels miraculous. Tomorrow they skip breakfast without noticing. By week's end, appetite has become memory. They celebrate while the liver, invisible but diligent, metabolizes the flood. Enzymes strain, mitochondria flare, cellular scaffolds buckle one at a time. The mirror rewards them even as the body begins its secret audit. Doctors prescribing the drug know the numbers. They quote clinical trials, risk ratios, and disclaimers. But underneath every speech lies an echo of history's earlier inventions. They sense how easily science slides from cure to craving. Weight loss has always been the most respectable addiction because its symptoms look like discipline. Medicine learns, forgets, relearns. After DNP came amphetamines, after amphetamines came hormone therapy, after hormones came GLP-1 analogs. The marketing changed, the metabolism never did. Each era promised safety better calculated, margin wider, dosage smarter. Eventually someone always overdoses not on pill count, but on promise. The liver is patient but keeps score. Autopsies of victims show an eerie uniformity. Fibrotic scarring, iron deposits, bile thick as paint. Sometimes the final stage lasts weeks, sometimes hours. In medical shorthand it reads, fulminant hepatic failure. A sentence as coldly efficient as the industrial process that delivered it. The body that sought control devolves into chemical chaos. Yet the line of patients doesn't stop. This year, analysts project global sales of anti-obesity injections to surpass $100 billion. The pills our grandparents feared are back, only cleaner, branded with minimalism instead of glamour. Marketing still whispers the forbidden liturgy. No hunger, no fatigue, no effort, no guilt. When the supply chain hiccups, black markets appear overnight. People dose themselves with counterfeit analogs whose purity no one can verify. Emergency rooms already see the results: hypoglycemia, jaundice, arrhythmia. Whole articles ask why humans keep repeating this pattern. The answer is indecently simple. Suffering is noisy, and silence sells. Fatigue, pain, and hunger are voices reminding us we're alive. Chemistry offers mute buttons. Each innovation only refines the quiet. And somewhere, quiet indeed, under fluorescent hospital light, another clinician draws the next dose for the next volunteer. The needle hesitates above skin, shimmering faint blue under the sterile LED glow. Science continues, disciplined, convinced that this time the cure understands moderation better than the patients who crave it. The data will show percent improvement, p-values, and adverse events. It will not record the look in a patient's eyes the first week they don, to feel hunger and mistake emptiness for grace. The chemical that turned weight loss into worship keeps evolving. It no longer smells of opium or burns like DNP. It slides through glass syringes whispering about health. It will help millions and hurt the rest quietly, organ by organ. Every century invents one compound that teaches the same mortal lesson. Metabolism is negotiation, not war. When you force the body to consume itself, it obeys. And when obedience goes too far, something essential, unseen, begins to dissolve. Right now, as you read this, someone, somewhere, is pulling a tiny cap off a pre-filled pen, pressing it into flesh, and surrendering faith to chemistry. Maybe it's a celebrity filming it for sponsorship, a stranger desperate for control, or a doctor convinced they understand the risk. The solution exists, the data exist, the warnings exist. What's missing is restraint. If this story unsettles you, let it. Share it. Because the most haunting thing about the weight loss injection that eats the liver from within isn't a toti that it happens. It is that we know exactly how to stop it and we still can't bear to look ordinary.